Welcome to this edition of Formatives in 5. This is Rusche-Nicholson, and I will be sharing with you the formative tool of utilizing exit slips in different forms to gather student evidence of learning and make instructional decisions based on the quick checks you have gathered. Bob Marzano validates that exit slips are one of the easiest ways to obtain information about students' current levels of understanding. You are probably using exit slips in your classroom in one form or another. As you will see in the upcoming examples, exit slips can come in many different forms. Marzano goes into detail to explain the different prompts of exit slips. We will explore these prompts more. Think about which ones you are already using and which you'd like to try. Remember, exit slips can be used to both gather student evidence of learning and drive your instruction. Prompts that provide formative assessment data are the first examples of exit slips. These are the most common and usually very brief. They provide quick data that teachers can use to make judgments about the students' needs for future lessons, as well as evidence of current data. This picture shows a quick note card that can be handed out at the end of the lesson and collected before a student leaves. This data will show if a student has a lack of understanding of a concept and needs to revisit the skill, or if they're ready for the next steps. Formative assessment data in the form of exit slips can be very quick, even on a scrap piece of paper, to show evidence of student learning. Whiteboards are another great way to quickly check for understanding in both math and reading. Teachers can give students a correct or check again signal. You can also use this information to document anecdotal records for recording students' understanding on a particular concept. This is a primary example. Students may start the school year identifying letters, sound, and numbers as they exit for recess. As the year progresses, or if a student needs an extension, students can be asked to compose or decompose numbers. They can also build letters and sounds. For example, this teacher asked students, show me which letters make the word, or show me 10 and 7. The second prompt, student self-analysis, is a common classroom practice but not often viewed as an exit slip. Allowing for students to have ownership over their own learning and share that reflection with the teacher provides evidence that a student has or hasn't grasped the skills for that lesson. Prompts that focus on instructional strategies require students to reflect on the effectiveness of various instructional strategies as well as on their own behavior during that execution of the strategy. A teacher might select one instructional strategy each week on which to receive student feedback. If a majority of students say that given strategy didn't enhance their learning, the teacher might try an alternate strategy to teach a concept. This specific example reflects stoplight outlines. The example to the right is evidence the student has an understanding of generating opinion pieces, while the example to the left shows the student may need a different outline format for their pre-writing. Open communications to the teacher is the least common form of exit slips. This form of data invites students to share what is and is not working for their learning. They may suggest they have mastered a particular skill or they do not understand a strategy. Open communications models that everyone is a learner. The teacher is learning teaching ideas straight from the student. These exit slips have multiple purposes. This teacher is gathering formative data and requiring student self-analysis, giving both the teacher feedback and asking students to have ownership over their own learning. Which exit slips are you currently using? Is there a particular prompt that you're excited to try? Thank you for reviewing exit slips with me today. Now you can see how this is a great tool and a great formative check.